right, what is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. I hope you guys are doing great tonight. Hope everyone has had a fantastic weekend. You guys know what time it is, man. We are hopping into a live 2026 fantasy football draft with the community league number 3. It's drafting tonight. Gonna throw together another great fantasy football squad drafting against you guys. So excited to be here, man. We got a couple things to get into. Gonna hang out for a couple minutes. This draft will be kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Until then, we'll kind of sit back and chat, react a little bit to the preseason action that I didn't get to cover, which is basically just the game that is currently going on as we've been live streaming just about every single night. So, for those of you guys who are going to hop in here, this is a single quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex, 5 bench spots league, as per usual for our standard settings for just about all of the catch leagues. So, you guys know what it is, man. Excited to be here. We've now drafted 2 nights in a row. This will be 3 nights in a row. Tomorrow could make 4 nights in a row. And unfortunately, this year we did have to draft a little bit earlier. I'm going to be out all of next week, which kind of impacted the schedule a little bit here. And ultimately, just one of those things that happen, right? But unfortunately, we have some major injury news, and that is going to be Ashton Jeanty of the Raiders. Suffered a leg injury today. We don't know how serious it is, but all indications are reporting that this is a very bad lower leg injury pertaining to the knee for Ashton Jeanty. He was unable to put any weight on his leg when leaving the field. And word out of practice was that the entire team was kneeling as in the aftermath of this. So not great. And, you know, like I said, we've already drafted some teams a little bit earlier this year, about a week and a half earlier than usual. Just the way it happened for the community this year with my schedule. And 2 out of the 3 community leagues, I drafted Ashton Jeanty. So, at least I'm the one getting the short end of the stick in most of the leagues. But this is just one of those things, the way the cookie crumbles, right? Hopefully we get some sort of positive news here. But if we don't get positive news, then I guess it's Mike Washington Jr. season. And, you know, got to hand it to you guys. You guys are sharp drafters. You guys are a sharp community. Mike Washington Jr. not available in a single catch league. So, I probably should have drafted him as a handcuff in the leagues that I drafted him in, or that I drafted Jeanty in. But these things happen, man. It's the unfortunate part of fantasy football, and we're nowhere near done with injuries. You know, this is just the way that fantasy football goes. And, you know, we'll be able to bounce back from this. But, you know, at the end of the day, hoping that Ashton Jeanty is a speedy recovery, and or that we maybe get some positive news that Ashton Jeanty is actually able to play football this year. But we'll just kind of have to sit back. Maybe we'll get a report during this stream. Maybe we won't know anything until tomorrow, or maybe even Tuesday. So just one of those things. Let me know if you guys out there have already drafted and you already have Ashton Jeanty on your team, if you guys need help looking at waivers. But once again, don't drop Ashton Jeanty yet. We don't exactly know what's going on in the full extent here. And I will say I had another league draft at 6 p.m. Eastern time tonight. It is a super flex format. And Ashton Jeanty still went in the 4th round for what it's worth. Although that team manager did not see the Ashton Jeanty news. Nonetheless, there's my updated ADP. I'll probably rip an underdog draft after this community draft. Maybe we'll see like where Jeanty's falling to, where Mike Washington is rising to. I would assume like for tonight in best ball drafts, we're probably still going to see Ashton Jeanty being drafted, just in the off chance that, you know, he is not injured to the extent that we're expecting. And, those are 18-round drafts, right? Um, on top of that, I do want to mention this kind of has been shuffled under the reports, but Mike Evans dealing with a quad injury and left practice early. And there were some reports indicating that he was not so happy, like it was a little disheartening. So maybe keep an eye on him. Maybe continue to keep an eye on Stribling as well. All right, I'm going to start sending out some final warnings here for league number 3. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Any fantasy football questions that you guys have, redraft, dynasty, best ball, team reviews, trade questions, whatever you guys need. I'm here. We're going to see how this draft goes. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, the Ashton Genty thing, just positive news. We did get George Kittle activated from the PUP list. So for those of you who drafted him, threw him on IR, George Kittle is no longer going to be IR eligible. We also saw Christian McCaffrey back in uniform and practicing today. There are reports indicating that Patrick Mahomes should be ready to go week 1. We shall see if he does not have any setbacks for the remainder of the preseason. I will say, on top of the Mike Evans injury, we do have Devon Stribling now considered day-to-day with a shoulder injury. Michael Penix, of the Falcons has been cleared to return to 11-on-11 work. And that's really it. Big one is the Genty one. Hate to see that. All right, let me send out a final warning on Discord. Got a lot of green dots here. Should be good. All right. Yeah, so the Seahawks coming out swinging here. Cam Ward did put together like a pretty solid drive that ended in that Joey Sly field goal. But as of right now, Drew Lock is 7 of 7 for 74 passing yards, a passing touchdown. Jakarta Wright had a huge rushing touchdown. That passing touchdown from Drew Lock went to Elijah Aurora. It was a busted coverage that Titans defense struggling as they did last year. But as of right now, Cam Ward is 8 of 11 for 69 passing yards. Did have a nice throw to Tony Pollard that went for a 33-yard game. Wan'Dale Robinson has had 2 targets, 2 catches, 11 receiving yards. Tajay Spears has been involved in the receiving game as well as Tony Pollard. Spears has had 3 targets, 3 catches for 14 receiving yards. Saw a catch to Alec Ale Manor. And Cardinal Tate, 2 targets, no catches. That game is at halftime. I'm not sure that we're going to see any more starters or maybe even second stringers left in that game. We'll see what happens. All right, we're going to kick this off in about 1 minute. Sir Bongs a lot. What's up? What's up? Emil, good to see you. What's up? Where are you drafting at tonight? With the 1-2. All right, guys. Sleeper has been super glitchy. So be ready to refresh, close out of the app, open the app. I'll do my best here. It was a lot better last night overall. All right, it's time. Draft is underway. Say we have 2 minutes per pick. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We do not have 2 minutes per pick. We got 1 minute per pick. All right. Let's go. Let's go. We're missing Z Fighter. Let me tag him. I'll tag him on sleeper first. I mean, if you're gonna miss a pick, the 1.1 is the pick to miss. I think everyone else is here. Chase, are you here? I thought I saw your green dot. I'm gonna tag Chase anyways. I think Chase is here. I tagged him anyways. All right, Gibbs goes to Z Fighter there. Yeah, I'm drafting from the 1-5. I do not like this draft position. Don't like the 1-5 very much. All right, Jamar Chase is gone. Bijan Robinson, no surprises here. Bud Smokers on the clock. Amon-Ra. I like it. I'm going to go Puka. This is the first draft I've landed Puka in. We'll start with the wide receiver. There goes Jonathan Taylor. I'm liking it. Go get your guys. That's what the first round is all about. So we still see some pretty good players here. There goes JSN. Chase on the clock. Goes C-Mac. Not a big surprise. So Christian McCaffrey falls back a little bit here in this first round. But really, we're just looking at a little bit of a different order for these first 8 players. JT, Amon-Ra a little bit earlier. Nothing wrong with that. That means JSN and C-Mac pushed back a few spots. Goes James Cook. All right, for anyone who's in the draft who's been living under a rock for the past few hours, Ashton Jeanty is injured. We truly don't know the status as of right now. If we get any update on Ashton Jeanty while streaming, please let me know, guys. If you guys see something before me. Goes Devon A-Chain. Yeah, I literally went like double hero running back in 2 of the drafts so far and used Jeanty in both of them. How do these things happen? Love those 2 picks there to end the first and get us into the second. For Kuda, Chase Brown, and Omar and Hampton. A ton of upside there. There's Kenneth Walker. That's right, Chase. Well, right now, Stripling's a little banged up. Mike Evans is a little bit banged up. I think there's just further blood sacrifice from Christian McCaffrey this week. I don't know if the substation's getting him. Earlier this week on the injury report, the Niners had 26 injured players. 26 injured players. Absurd. All right, up to the 2-4. Yeah, Lamb falls back a little bit here. Love that pick. think it'd be very hard pressed to pass on Lamb there. There goes AJ Brown. More and more drafts we're getting into, the more and more ADP is starting to not matter. People are going out and getting their guys against ADP. That's what I love to see. That's what this time of year is all about. It's this cluster of running backs that we see coming out of the end of the first, going into the beginning of the second. Now a little bit thinner, most likely with that Ashton Genty injury. This takes one player out of the equation. Goes Drake London. And Mackin is on the clock. I get ready to pick. I'm going to take one of two players. Ooh, goes Jeremiah Love. Tough decision here. Truly is. But I want to switch it up a little bit tonight. I'm going to go George Pickens. I'm going to go back-to-back wide receiver. But yeah, Derrick Henry was the other pick there for sure. Andrea, good to see you. Hello, hello. Thanks for hanging out tonight. So the last draft from the 1-5 that we did, when did we do that draft? Getting a previous week? Whatever. I went CMC at the 1-5 and then Derrick Henry at the 2-8. They're kind of doing the opposite with this draft, starting with two wide receivers. Yeah, nobody get left on auto because as long as Ashton Genty remains available, if you get left on auto and you don't have a queue, your auto pick's gonna leave you with Ashton Genty. I mean, I guess I'll change it for you guys, but generally speaking, I don't change auto picks. If it's like the weird glitch thing that's been happening, that's one thing. You missed your pick. You missed your pick. All right. Seahawks, Titans. Wait, I thought it was at halftime. Oh, maybe not. Ooh, I like those picks. You better go Neighbors and Lad. See more and more people going against ADP. I love Olave there. Mm, couple directions I could go here. Switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up tonight. I'm gonna take Nico Collins here. I'm gonna see what happens. What do you guys like best out of this wide receiver bunch? That's a tough bunch. Nico, Higgins, T Mac, Devonta. If Olave or Lad were there, I'd probably go with one of those two. I mean, I think Nico's a good value there. For a second, I thought about going Brock Bowers, which I never go tight end that early. Maybe one league, I'll do it. All right, slowly moving through the third round here. Goes Higgins. Chase back on the clock. See what happens. Do we have preseason after this week? Do we have one more? Yeah, I got one more week. Mm, that's it, as we are so close to week one. It's crazy. All right, Higgins and Smitty gone. Let's see if we got any exciting news. Still don't see anything on Gen T. It was Kyron. Still think Kyron is such a good value in this range. It was ETN. Dave Flowers. Ooh, Seahawks. Rookie second round safety Bud Clark carted into the locker room in an air cast after suffering a leg injury. Hate to see injuries. Too many today. The Titans defense not looking much better than it was last year. All right, Kuda wraps up the third round, brings us into the fourth. See our third tight end gone and Colston Loveland. Honestly, Josh Jacobs is a very good player. 4 running backs. A little risky for the biscuit. Man, we got like great wide receivers available. All right, guys. Fourth round is underway. Let's see what happens. Your boys on the clock. Winding down here. Frosty, Becca, Flowers, Smitty, rank them. Putting Smitty number one here, man. I mean, I'm a long time Devonta Smith truther and believer, but yeah, I just got a tough time not having him number one here. I think he's going to see a monster amount of volume, but Zay Flowers is a very close number two for me. I mean, Flowers, another player who's going to see a tremendous amount of volume, and both ththose guys are true wide receiver ones. Now, Emeka Buka is going to come in third. I think he has a very close ceiling to what we're going to see out of Smitty and Flowers, but man, the toe injuries got me a little spooked, and then there are still a lot of pass catchers on that team. No more Mike Evans, but we still got Chris Godwin, right? We still got Jalen McMillan. They drafted Ted Hurst. You still got some other names like Tez Johnson on that roster. I think the conversation would be a lot different if we weren't looking at the injury because we don't really know the severity of the injury yet. But yeah, I got Smitty as, and if you guys have followed this channel for any amount of time, you guys know that. I mean, Smitty's my guy. Even when AJ Brown was there, Smitty was my guy. But yeah, I think Flowers gonna have a monster season. Devonta Smith and Flowers in very similar situations. Flowers, I mean, arguably even a better situation in terms of what we're gonna expect out of volume. Really depend on Jacoby Lane. Rank A Chain, Hampton, Chase Brown. This is tough. Tough. As Emeka Egbuka is selected right there. I think I'm still hard pressed to not put A Chain number one here. It's still Devon A Chain. Once again, if you guys remember, I was very high on Devon A Chain coming out of college. Now, part of the reason was because I love the Mike McDaniel system for him. Obviously, that's no longer the system. But I mean, he's been the RB5 2 years in a row. Sure, some regression can be expected here this year, but man, I just got a tough time like disrespecting Devon A Chain. But it's these three are so close. You see them tonight. A Chain at the 110, Chase Brown at the 112, Hampton at the 2-1. And man, I love Amar and Hampton, now a part of the Mike McDaniel system. I really do. Let me make this big. I'm going my boy Swift. Need a running back over here. Man, I think Hampton has so much upside this year. So much upside. It's almost ridiculous. And I think Chase Brown has been a little bit slept on throughout the course of the offseason. I love that start for Kuda going Chase Brown and Hampton. Chase Brown, RB10, 2024, RB7 last year. And Chase Brown's he had 88 targets, 69 catches last year. Like, he's truly the third pass catcher on that team after Chase and Higgins. So, man, it's very close. I mean, this is splitting hairs between these three players. I really like all three of these guys. They only move up in volume, or excuse me, they only move up in value now with the Genti. Could Genti have torn his ACL? It's very possible. It's very possible. But we don't know the severity yet. So unfortunately, we just got to sit back and wait and see. Andrew went through wide receiver in League One. Yeah. We got an interesting draft board here tonight. A couple of teams with a quarterback, a tight end already, a 4 running back team, a 3 wide receiver team, a hero running back team. Wait, did I say 4 wide receiver? 4 wide receiver and 4 running back already. Let me hone it on this pick. And Luther Burden was looking very enticing there. Luther Burden has actually really become one of my favorite players to target because his ADP has fallen back with that injury. This is a little bit against ADP. This is really a player who's really become like somebody that I really like to draft as an RB2. And I'm going to take Jadarian Price here because I don't think he's going to make it back to me. For RB start is crazy. We like a little craziness over here. And Core is in like every league this year. So, go do different strategies, get different guys. This is a double flex league. So, starting A-Chain, starting Walker, flexing ETN, flexing Hall, hit on 2 wide receivers. It's actually, this is a little crazy, but it can definitely work. People are scared of H because the team he's on, but that only means he's gonna get peppered with lots of volume. Yeah, and this is an argument I always make every single year. Bad teams, bad offenses will still produce good fantasy players. I do like that Chase Brown has a nice schedule. Does he? See, I also never look at schedules. Like, I just don't. I don't. 'Cause defenses fluctuate in the NFL year to year so often, so often. Plays first 5 weeks, Tampa Bay, Houston, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Miami. Miami's a good matchup. Tampa Bay is not bad. Pittsburgh is not bad. But Houston and Jacksonville, tough. Yeah, defenses just fluctuate. So I try not to read too much into upcoming season schedules. But overall, I like Chase Brown. How do you feel about guys like Bucky and Scadabo? We see Bucky fall a little bit here at the 5-7. You could easily argue, like in this draft, for example, that Bucky is the right pick over Jaderon Price. Um, I I think in general, I still like Bucky, like because he just falls. Bucky is the one name for sure. We've already ran multiple real drafts for the year. Bucky is the one name for sure at running back that'll fall back, undoubtedly, undoubtedly. So for that reason, it's kind of similar to Luther Burden. I really like drafting Luther Burden now. Before, I wasn't as inclined. I would just wait and draft like a Romadunze a little bit later. But right now, with Burden's new price, yeah, I'll take that risk for sure. There goes Romadunze at the 5-9. Parker Washington. I will say I like Scatabo. The problem with Scat for me is you're still paying a pretty hefty price. And like the Giants have kind of explicitly stated that they're going to utilize Tyrone Tracy. And remember, I know Scat last year when he was given the opportunities, he was great. He was a true RB1 in fantasy. That was a different offensive system. And sure, the hardball system, excuse me, they are going to run the football. But I really think they're going to utilize a lot of Tyrone Tracy still. And they went out and signed uh, Najee Harris, which like I'm not super worried there, but you know, I just don't know what type of immediate volume we're going to see for such a premium price for Scat. Is all. All right, so Kuda in the sleeper chat says, "I guess I'll do it." He goes Ashton Genty at the 6-1. Yeah, I mean, I was interested to see how far he would fall, and I mean, yeah, it can absolutely pay off for you if the injury's not serious. And Genty's your RB4. I don't hate it. Not wrong, but Bengals have the first or second easiest schedule this year for running backs specifically. I haven't even really looked. Like I said, Burden is basically JMO light. Yeah, JMO's good. I mean, people are like, I feel like are forgetting JMO was the wide receiver 12 last year, and after they changed the play calling, like he was great. It's not a week 12 against the Giants where he had 0 catches, but in the fantasy championship he sucked too. But for the most part, he was great. And Goff loves it. Oh, I like Henderson in this range. do you like between Dak and T-Law? I also have Washington and Tootin. Man, I wanted Marvin Harrison here. So, generally speaking, right now, T-Law is going a little bit later than Dak in drafts, and I'm someone who traditionally does not draft a quarterback early. So I guess I lean T-Law. I like both a lot. I don't know if there's like anything that particularly like separates those two dramatically for me. I like them both a lot. Also have Washington Tootin. I don't know if that impacts my decision between Dak and T-Law at all. How's the full roster looking? What do you make of the Washington backfield? Man, I've gone so back and forth. Earlier in the offseason, I was like all over Rashad White. And I've kind of taken a little bit of a step back on that. I'm not particularly against him, but I just think it's going to be committee, and I think Bill could run away with it. Like the Rashad White injury had me worried more than anything, and it's a hamstring, and like he does have a little bit of a history of injuries. Uh, so I just don't know if they're going to be the most fantasy friendly backfield at the end of the day. But like both guys, Bill and Rashad White, are definitely worth taking shots on. Been torn on Henderson. Yeah, like he falls a little bit here. I think it's a good pick for you as your RB2. He's still going to be boom or bust. That's for sure. But we know, like in weeks where he booms, the ceiling's very high. Yeah, I think Cora is cooking something together here. Slightly unprepared for this pick right here. Nobody that I particularly love right here. Goes dribbling. Let's circle back to Cora's team. Yeah, so I kind of mentioned this a few minutes ago. It's a double flex league. So you can start two running backs, A-Chain Walker, flex ETN, flex Hall. So now if you just hit on the right wide receivers, you only have to start two wide receivers. Now he's got Parker Washington, Michael Wilson. Could be a very good team. Our starters are Saquon, Jeremiah Love, JJ, Devontae, Buka, Tootin, drafted Dak, but T-Law's on waivers. Okay, I get you now. I get you now. There's really, once again, nothing that really separates the two for me. I mean, statistically, Trevor Lawrence was the better fantasy quarterback last year, but not by a ton. Prescott was the QB6. Trevor Lawrence was the QB4, but T-Law also had 9 rushing touchdowns. A lot of those were like QB sneaks too. So what's expected is that some of that will regress this year. Yeah, I think you're splitting hairs here. Your starting lineup's very good. I mean, Jeremiah Love could miss a little bit of time to start the season. We haven't really figured that out. The starting lineup looks very sharp. And who would you have to drop to acquire T-Law is the bigger question. Are you higher on DJ Moore or Terry? I'm going to go DJ Moore. I mean, I don't really know how different this Bills offense is going to be this year, but at the same time, because I mean, they just, the OC is the, you know, the new head coach, the same OC that they had last year. So I'm certainly why I say that is because the Bills have never traditionally used like a true wide receiver one over the past couple of years. But you just got to think there's got to be a chance here that we see DJ Moore as the true number one wide receiver for Josh Allen. And that in itself, there's got to be some sort of upside tied to it. I think Terry's fine where he goes, but Terry's just one of these players for me who's just fine. I hope it's a big bounce back from last year, being a Commanders fan. I know he was hurt last year, but if you look in that range, I just think there's a lot more upside relative to players like DJ Moore, Luther Burden, Devontae Adams. I think is like very safe. He goes a little bit earlier there, but yeah, I'm just more inclined to go DJ Moore at the moment. Would you want a Fannin, Kraft, or Pitts, or wait later for Kittle? I mean, as things stand right now, I would wait later for Kittle. Although Kittle's no longer on the injury report. Well, I guess technically, but he's no longer listed on PUP. He's technically on the injury report, but yeah, he's not like this player that you're going to be able to draft super late now and throw on IR. Arnold Tate through 2 preseason games. Week 1. Yeah, there goes George Kittle. Like he's rising back up in ADP. He's the tight end gone after Laporta in this draft. Cardinal Tate, week 1, 3 targets, 0 receptions. Week 2, 0 receptions. There goes Wan'Dale Robinson. I've been saying this since the beginning of the offseason, I think Robinson is the wide receiver to draft there. Would either draft Dak straight up or also Quentin Johnston. Yeah, I wouldn't drop QJ. Honestly, bro, I'd probably just roll with Dak. And like, I would assume there's some other names at quarterback that have value. So for some reason, Dak that are available on waivers. If Dak doesn't work out, then you can just move on at that point. But don't overthink quarterback, especially this early. All right, there goes Mike Washington to the team with 4 running backs of all teams. But there we go. See him at the 8-3. Goes Jonathan Brooks. Goes Dobbins. Good little cluster of RBs right there. Do you think Garrett Wilson can have a better year than previous seasons? I mean, I'm a long-time Garrett Wilson truther, but a little bit more hesitant this year. He's already been involved in the preseason action that we've seen. They basically just shut him down, or maybe Garrett Wilson shut himself down last year with the state of things. But I think Garrett Wilson's a very talented wide receiver. He's going to see a ton of volume. You know, Geno Smith was awful last year, but I think he can maybe be a little bit better than what we're used to. And I think Garrett Wilson is being drafted appropriately. So, and part of the problem with Geno last year was, like, Geno was bad last year, but the system was bad. Like, the culture was bad. Chip Kelly didn't work. Pete Carroll didn't work. Nothing worked. The O-line was bad. Nothing worked last year. Could be kidding anyone. So, yeah, but I mean, we go back to last year. He was hurt. Didn't play the whole year. He was good when he was active last year. You go back to the previous season, he was the wide receiver 10. Do I think he can top the wide receiver 10? I don't know about that. But last year, he had 19 or more fantasy points in 4 of the 6 games he played. And remember, in that 6th game, he got hurt. So if we take out the game he got hurt, he had 19 or more fantasy points in 4 out of 5 games last year. That's right. He got hurt He sat out, came back after the bye week, and got hurt again. Same technically, got him listed as 7 games last year. Yeah, Joe, don't or wait, what's his name? Joe loves big girls. Joe Diesel loves big girls. Yeah, don't overthink quarterback, brother. But yeah, T-Law's on waivers. There's got to be other names of value out there on waivers. I know Gino is a trash can, but he's been able to support fantasy wide receivers. Yeah, and like last year, like Gino's play overall was bad last year. But like I said, it wasn't all just Gino being bad. Like everything was bad last year. Everything was bad. But yeah, you're correct. Historically, he has been able to support wide receivers. Fantasy. Wilson gonna have a big target share. Absolutely. Jordan Mason here. Yeah, which is interesting with the Jets is they went out and obviously drafted Omar Cooper and Kenyon Sadiq, but we haven't really been hearing a ton about them. Like Cooper's been lining up with the starters as he should. Um, but AD Mitchell's going to be involved. Then Sadiq has that hernia. He's expected to play week 1. So we've been seeing Mason Taylor out there a lot. And obviously Brees Hall, maybe Braylon Allen get some, you know, work out of the backfield, but overall, it's Garrett Wilson's room to lose. It's a weird team tonight, but I actually really like this team. Bill was a really good pick there at the 9-7. It's kind of torn between Jordan Mason and Bill. Is it a reach to get either Rice or Neighbors over a Nico, Olave, or London? No, I mean, I would say all these wide receivers generally are within the same tier. We look tonight, we have Rice, Neighbors, Lad, Olave, Nico. London was gone before Pickens. London is an interesting player because sometimes you see him go like right after or right around the AJ Brown Pickens area. Sometimes you see him a little bit after. Depends on like how people personally in each league are feeling about Tua Tagovailoa and or Michael Penix at quarterback. Like I'm a little bit more inclined to go Pickens or AJ Brown over London, or maybe take the upside of the Neighbors or the consistency of Olave. Um, I also haven't traditionally been super inclined to draft Nico Collins as a wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 this year. Wide receiver 3, as we see tonight, I don't mind. But yeah, Neighbors is that guy. And all reports are indicating that he's going to be out there week 1. Rashee Rice, a very safe player. I really don't think when you look at like the AJ Brown, London Pickens, Rice, Neighbors, Olave, Nico, Ladd, even Smitty, even Flowers, I guess Higgins too. I think there's really an argument for all of those players. I think Higgins will get pushed back in that argument because he is technically the wide receiver 2 on his team, but like the upside that Higgins brings, we all know what that is, right? But I would not say it's a reach. Really, as we continue to go through the process here, more and more drafts done. Go get your guys. ADP is just an average draft projection. Go get your guys. Hard to pass on Mason there, but Ramondre there's nice too. Yeah, Ramondre is a really great, good value price for sure. For sure. All right, how do I want to wrap up this draft? What's the word on Mahomes' return timeline? The latest report is that the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are optimistic, barring any setback, that he will be out there week 1. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that would be the latest word on the street. How am I gonna finish this one up? I'll be live again tomorrow night. Unfortunately, I will be out of town the 25th through the 1st, so we'll just have content coming out on the channel. Then I'll be back, and we at that point, we'll be getting into week 1 content, but I will be going live as often as I can. And during the regular season, I will be live every Friday night for you guys, answering doing fantasy Q&A until I can't keep my eyes open every Friday night. I'll send out the Discord link in a second if you need it. Let me grab that. Or actually, Discord like signed me out. Oh, never mind. I got it. Let me get the link. It's coming. There you go. I swear, what is the Seahawks Titans game at halftime? I swear it said halftime like 20 minutes ago. All right, trying to see if there's any updates. No Ashton Genty updates. Oh, did we lose a meal? I'm going to assume that's not who Emil wanted, but I can't really do anything here. Ferguson. Halftime now. Yeah, I don't know what I saw before. I'm relatively happy with this team. My running backs hit. I'm in a good spot. Kelsey and Ferguson at tight end. Honestly, Algier is such a good pick in this range. You really don't know how much time Jeremiah Love's going to miss. Algier is almost certainly going to be the week 1 starter. A little bit of a tough opening schedule. Chargers, Seahawks, hit the Niners and the Giants after that, which those are both kind of up in the air. But that Giants front seven could be really good this year. I get Detroit, get the Rams in Denver, Dallas, Seattle, Rams, Chiefs. Cardinals do have a really tough schedule this year. Taylor, I'm late. I'm sure the Genty conversation has already happened, but I'm sad. Hard to not be sad. Still saw Genty drafted beginning in the 6th. I was on draft earlier tonight. Superflex league where he went in the 4th. Saw Mike Washington gone here in the 8th. Mike Washington went like the 12th or 13th. That league I drafted in earlier. Yeah, CD did fall a bit tonight to the 2-4. Great start for you, boy, getting Cook and Lamb. All right, guys, just a couple more picks. I'll go over everybody's team at the end as well. I'm probably going to rip an underdog draft in honor of Ash and Genty. I don't know what I'm going to do with this pick. Nick Singleton. Give me what a Marks. Would Washington up right after Jordan Price in my rankings for now. Yeah, got to be right there. I think Price has a better supporting cast. I'm going to have Price ahead of him. The issue right now is we're not getting like a true read on where he's going to go in drafts. All right, I don't know what happened to Emil, but he's getting every quarterback in this draft. So I would assume once this draft ends or whenever he's able to check, he's going to drop at least 2 quarterbacks, if not 3. How high are you on CD with George capping his upside? I still think CD Lamb is that guy, man. Still think he's that guy. And I mean, I always talk about how wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2s can coincide. Chase, Higgins, it's a similar situation to that. Amon-Ra, J-Mo, Puka, Devonta, you know? Plenty of other examples. AJ Brown and Smitty when they were together. So I still like both. I'm okay with CD. Can't figure out if I like CD or Jay Dennis. It's got to be a coin flip for me. You'll have to bold 4 QB strategy. They definitely had a Q set. Definitely had a Q set. I think I'm pretty happy with this team. Got Purdy at quarterback, can alternate Kelsey and Ferguson at tight end. I'm going to start Puka. I'm going to start Pickens. I'm going to start Nico. I'm going to flex Sutton. So I'll be flexing Nico and Sutton. I'm going to start DeAndre Swift as my RB1 and Jadarian Price as my RB2. As long as I can get an RB2 to hit here, I am confident in Swift. Obviously, I don't have a lot of tremendous upside at running back. But I'm going to start Swift and Price. Well, I'm going to start Swift. And if I need to, I'm going to start Gainwell or Jordan Mason, maybe Woody Marks. I think I can survive. So I'm pretty happy with this team. Starting Purdy, Kelsey or Ferguson, Puka Pickens, Nico Sutton, Swift, Price for week 1. How do you guys like the squad? Yes, I am definitely in every catch fan league. By the way, guys, wide receiver league has 2 spots, $20 buy-in. I would love for 2 people to join and draft with us tomorrow night. If you guys want in, let me know. Hit me up in the YouTube chat right now or on Discord. All right. Let's start to take a look at some teams as we only have 2 more picks here. First of all, congrats to everybody in league number 3. We did it. We did it. We did it. All right, Z Fighter. Got Burrow at quarterback. Can't go wrong with that. Kraft and Kincaid. I will say, Kincaid makes me a little bit nervous, but really, all the preseason training camp reports have indicated that they're trying to use a lot of Dalton Kincaid. I've been like a Kincaid guy, so you know, I've been burnt by him quite a bit here. So ultimately, I just it makes me nervous. That's all. But you have Kraft here, so you're in a great spot. Burrow quarterback, you are good there as well. Gibbs, Monty. I see a lot of people who end up with Gibbs also end up with Monty, which is just it's just interesting. Sorry to interrupt. The 3 wide receiver league is a double flex league. It's 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 2 flexes, 5 benches, a little bit of a deeper overall starting format. Gibbs, Monty, Ramondre, Dylan Sampson. Neighbors, Ladd, Watson, Diggs, Tank Dell, Jalen Naylor. So be starting Burrow, Kraft, Gibbs, Monty, Neighbors, Ladd, flexing Watson, flexing Diggs. Got a good value on Ramondre. Some good dart throws there at the end. Not too shabby. All right, Emil, we don't know what happened here, brother. 4 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. We'll have to see the adjusted team. I don't even know if this team is worth going over. All right, DC 2525 at the 1-3. 2 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. We got JD5 and Patty Mahomes. We got Tyler Warren and Goddard. Before I even look at the rest of the team, generally speaking, if I go 2 tight end and 2 quarterback, I think you definitely start to see, a little bit of fluctuation in other spots and not a great way. So end up with Bijan, Pollard, White, Brian Robinson, Rice, Olave, Terry, Godwin, Alec Pierce. You do have a couple like potential injuries here, like Pierce in the ninth. Why not? Why not? Could pay off. So we're starting one of the two quarterbacks: Tyler Warren, Bijan, Pollard, Rice, Olave, flexing Terry, flexing Godwin. I mean, I still think it's pretty solid. And I will say, like, it's not like you took your second quarterback super early or your second tight end super early. Maybe you just really felt like those were the best available players, and that's fine. That's fine. And they feel like their value outweighs whoever's available at other positions. I can't knock you. Bud Smoker, we got Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Hurts just goes. I mean, this is already generally speaking, a community that pushes back quarterback, but Hurts just goes so late. If I can get Josh Allen and Hurts, it's crazy. Laporta at tight end. I know Laporta's got like a stinger or something going on. He had a hip injury, uncertain for week one, but I do think he's going to have a very good year as long as he's healthy. Derrick Henry, Warren, Harvey, Charbonnet, Braylon Allen at running back. Wide receivers are Amon-Ra, Adams, Burden, Debo, Worthy. So we're starting Josh Allen, Laporta, Henry, Warren, St. Brown, Adams, flexing Burden. And you could be flexing Harvey, but maybe it's Debo. I do like, the idea of drafting Charbonnet, throwing him on IR, picking up another player, especially if you're the team you drafted very on price. But when he returns, you can still see a lot of volume, obviously. All right, we already went over my team. Let's move over to Mac in here. Caleb Williams at quarterback. Bowers unlikely at tight end. You're fine there. We got JT, Jeremiah Love, Chuba, Nick Singleton. I will say in redraft, I don't particularly feel like Nick Singleton is worth drafting. Pollard, Spears, that would be it for me. I would have drafted Spears over Singleton in a heartbeat, personally. Wide receivers are Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Kai Lemon, Denzel Boston, and Chris Bell. So we're starting Caleb and Bowers, JT and Love. But here's the issue. If Love's not ready to go week one with that ankle issue, Chuba is also banged up. Looks like he is expected to be ready for week one, but you never know. Yeah, Nick Singleton ain't starting for you. So best case scenario, we got Caleb, Bowers, JT, Love or Chuba. Then Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Metcalf, Kai Lemon. But here's the issue. Evans is a little bit banged up. He'll probably be out there week one. He's always banged up. Metcalf banged up, expected to be out there week one. Kai Lemon, week one. Or banged up. But I think he is going to be out there week one. So that makes things a little bit shaky. Still a lot of upside. All right. Servo. We got Drake May at quarterback. No tight end. I would assume that's going to change. I'm sure it will by week one. If not momentarily or soon. But starting Drake May, sure. Running backs are Bucky, Blake Corum, Bill, Rodriguez, Algier, Mitchell. I mean, like the dead zone of running backs, those are all good names. At wide receiver, you got JSN, London, Higgins, and Buka, MH, Travis Hunter there at the end. So let's see. You're starting Drake May, Bucky, Bill, I would argue. JSN, London, flexing Higgins, flexing Buka. You can't flex Buka. It's going to be Marvin Harris. Buka having that toe injury. Interesting strap, but it could work. All right, we got Chase here. Go zero quarterback. The meal situation didn't help there, but you end up with Kyler Murray, which is still fine. And in a tight end, Christian McCaffrey doesn't go running back again until the 6th. It's Henderson, Dobbins, and Spears. True hero RB build here. At wide receiver, we got A.J. Brown, Smitty, T-Mac, J-Mo, QJ, Jacoby Lane, Keenan Allen. Wide receivers are vastly strong. So you're starting Kyler, Bannon, C-Mac, Henderson, A.J. Brown, Smitty, flexing T-Mac, flexing J-Mo. There's a lot of upside there with a good bench. Running back is shaky here, but I mean, even Dobbins has a lot of upside. Spears is getting a lot of usage. I actually really like this team, Chase. All right, your boys at the 1-9. Herbert in the 12th, fantastic value. Goes Andrews at tight end. Cook, Kyron, Skimabo, Jonathan Brooks, Ray Davis. Yeah. I don't know, man. If you guys take a running back in the first, second round, you might want to just handcuff them until week 1. Wide receivers are CeeDee Lamb, Roman Dunze, Cardinal Tate, Addison, Coker, Shakir. So we're starting Herbert, we're starting Andrews, we're starting Cook, we're starting Kyron, starting CeeDee Lamb, starting a Dunze. I would be flexing Scadabo, flexing Jonathan Brooks or Cardinal Tate or Addison, or maybe Coker, maybe Shakir. This is another solid team, actually. All right, Cora came out the gate with those 4 running backs. He gets T-Law and Tyler Shuck at QB, Chicken Conquo at tight end. Yeah, running back A-Chain Walker, Etienne Hall, goes Mike Washington at the 8-3. Wide receivers are Parker Washington, Michael Wilson, Casey Concepcion, Matthew Golden, and Cyrus Allen. So starting T-Law, obviously starting Chig, starting A-Chain Walker, starting Parker Washington, starting Michael Wilson. Then, yeah, flexing Etienne, flexing Brees Hall. Right? So those wide receivers hit, and you can hit on a tight end here. And those wide receivers can stay healthy, and the running backs stay healthy. I mean, this is actually a scary team to face. All right, Spanky at the 111. Jackson Dart, fine. Kittle Pitts, fine. Barkley, Jacobs, Chuckins, Aaron Jones, Pacheco, J.J. Flowers, B. Tom, Wandale Robinson, Jordan Tyson. So, yeah, the reports on Tyson now that he's expected to miss 2 months. He'll probably be on IR or whatever, or PUP. I don't know which one. But he's probably going to be somebody who ends up on your IR spot. So maybe a good draft pick. We'll find out. We're going to start Dart, start Kittle, start Barkley, start Jacobs, start JJ, start Flowers, flex B Tom, probably flex Jupkin. You can also flex Wandale, also flex Pitts. It's a really good team. I don't love Aaron Jones, but I think he's a really good value in the 12. Checo's still a strong handcuff. Pretty solid. Kuda to wrap it up. Got Bo Nix at quarterback, fantastic value. Colston Loveland, Jawan Johnson, perfectly fine. Chase Brown, Amari Hampton, I love that start for you. Tootin, Genty, and Jonah Coleman as well. Waddle, Pittman, Reed, Dobbs, Shaheed. So obviously wide receiver is not super strong here. He only took 1 through the first 6 rounds. But similar to some degree to Cora's team, that you're going to be able to flex at least a 3rd running back. And yeah, someone had to take the risk on Genty tonight. I really actually applaud you for doing so. So you're starting Bo Nix, starting Loveland, starting Chase Brown, starting Hampton, starting Waddle, starting Pittman, maybe Reed. Flexing 2 and then flexing either Pittman or Reed. Still a good starting line. All right, guys. Congrats once again to League 3. There's a look at how draft boards will look in a full PPR league double flex format. If you guys were to draft right now, today, on August 23rd. Kyle, what up, what up? Yeah, actually, I like that team, actually, Blazing. I'm going to do an underdog momentarily. Let's go ahead and let's switch over to underdog and hang out for a bit, guys. All right, the contest that I'm into at the moment is the first quarter. We also got Little Dalmatian. I'm going to hop into a first quarter and then a Dalmatian. In the first quarter lobby, there's 6 spots. If anybody wants to join, I'm going to pee real quick. All right, I'm here, guys. I'm here. Don't worry. Oh yeah, I like this contest a lot. Just the first 4 weeks of the season. So yeah, I'm gonna rip one of these, then I'll rip a Dalmatian. Any fantasy football questions you guys have, let me know. Eat a protein bar. Oh, J Dubs is here. J Dubs is here. I didn't even see you. What's up, dude? All right, I really have no strategy for these. I will say, I feel like in these contests, going a little bit against the grain is never a bad thing. I wonder if Genty will still get drafted. I mean, Charbonnet got drafted in the one we did last night. Oh, wow. Is anyone seeing this? Is this real life? What in the world? I have to take a picture of that. Hopefully, this guy isn't going to botch the draft. All right. Give me James Cook. All right. Sorry for eating a protein bar on stream. I never eat on stream. I'm logging it. Okay. Yeah, that was wild. Mike Washington at the 1-3. All right. Give me Kenneth Walker. I'm gonna do the opposite of what J Dubs does. I'm just kidding. All right, trading A Chain and Pickens for JSN and T Mac and a depth running back. Already have JT and Kenneth. How large is this league? Yeah, I'm okay with this trade. I'll still take JSN over Pickens. T Mac. for A-Chain, I guess. You already have JT and Kenneth. What's the league size here? Yeah, I'm interested to see this guy's next two picks because if this starts to look like a botched draft, I just don't know what to say. Might have to. We might have to duck out of here. You know what? I'll draft it anyways. Okay, goes AJ Brown. Yeah, I don't know if the red badge is completely deserved there. What's this dude gonna do when the Raiders sign Kareem Hunt in 2 days? Yeah, that's actually a good question. Man, Najee could have been a potentially in the mix. We literally have maybe Joe Mixon. Does anyone know Joe Mixon is alive? Austin Eckler, Kareem Hunt. Joe Gibbs has retired. Antonio Gibson, Raheem Mostert, Miles Sanders, Alexander Madison, Keontae Ingram, Deneric Prince, Cam Akers, Chase Edmonds. That's it. I mean, Kareem Hunt probably would be the pick here. Dude, call me crazy. I could see a little Cam Akers, a Raheem Mostert reunion. I was tempted to go running back there, but I'm not going to pass up on Neighbors here. Yeah, for a 10-man, I don't mind that move. I'd be interested to see the full roster, but I don't mind it. Nick Chubb coming out of retirement. Yeah, I mean, I left his name off that list, but he still shows if you look at any free agent trackers. Great values for you, J Dubs. Like just fantastic values there. Javonte and Etienne. I did see that video of the guy who took JT first overall. Yes. He's probably not feeling the best tonight. Our thoughts are with him. Swift. Rosters, Drake May, JT A-Chain, JT A-Chain, AJ Brown, Pickens, Kenneth Walker, Fannin. So you would upgrade a Drake May, JT, Kenneth Walker, AJ Brown, JSN, Fannin, T-Mac, right? I don't hate it. I go for it, sure. Basically, upgrade at wide receiver, get a little bit thinner at running back. We'll probably do one more after this, Kyle. This is also just the fourth quarter, a little bit of a different contest. After this, I'm gonna do the Dalmatian. I just really like the fourth quarter. So I mean, I think this guy is drafting a normal team. Just took Mike Washington at the 1-3. Got a red badge. Maybe he was setting a cue. Misclicked. I don't know. Yeah, outside of that, his team has been normal. I need some wide receiver help. I don't know why. I feel like this draft is going slow. No idea what I'm gonna do with this next pick. Find out. Luther Bird. Oh, I really wanted Adams there, man. Really wanted him. Bucker Washington. Welcome to the squad, Parker. See Rome take a kicker in the 9th round. What do you mean? J-Dub's quietly cooking over there. I love Jadaron Price right there. Oh, Flockley. I don't pay attention to that. Do not. Shout out to all those guys. What channels are on there? Fantasy Domain, obviously Flock. Sal's on there. Fantasy Stock Exchange. And then Fantasyland. All very, very great channels, contributors to the community. A couple of those guys I've talked to here and there over the years. But yeah, I don't pay attention to that personally. Don't have the time. Very cool league and everything they put together with that, though. A tough pick here. Oh, I got Marvin Harris. I ran out of time. Whoops. This is a weird pick. There's a couple players that I thought were fine. Yeah, 3 wide receivers, 3 running backs. Here we are. I feel like with this type of just draft. Don't overthink it. Just draft good players. Hmm. No idea what I want to do this next pick. We shall find out. Here's an interesting thing with this type of format, though. Once again, I truly believe Cook, Walker, and Swift are going to be healthy the first 4 weeks of the season. I don't actually have to draft another running back. It can really change your overall strategy. Didn't like Sutton in this range. Goes to the porta potty. I'm just going to snag up this stack and go T-Law. Come to the team, Trevor. I don't know. I might kind of change this team up a little bit. I'll go Herbert, and then I'm just not going to worry about quarterback. So maybe a late Jacoby Brissett. Back on the clock at 105, 112. Feeling all right, actually. I just noticed that Chase joined the Catch Fam membership. Thank you, Chase, if you're still here. Tyler Warren is like the tight end that I really like in this contest. Like I think his Colts are going to come out those first couple weeks. Just give Tyler Warren a tremendous amount of volume. Like Monty week 1 versus the Bills. Well, it really depends on your team and what your other options are. The Bills' run defense was not good last year. It'd be different this year, sure, but it depends on who else you can start. Overall, if you have Monty's, probably your RB2. Maybe he's your RB3 though. I think he's perfectly fine to start week 1 versus the Bills. Appreciate you, Chase. Sorry, I didn't see that at first. And the nice thing with this year's schedule is like you guys have seen really over the last 2 years, I really haven't been able to stream during the regular season. So this year, the way I have it worked out is I will be streaming every Friday night because I love being able to get the content out. Obviously, connect with you guys through the content. It's posted during the regular season, but there's a very different dynamic to live streaming. Especially once we get into the fantasy season, Q&A goes a long ways. Who am I picking here? There's a lot of players I like right here. I'll go Dobbins. He can stay healthy for 4 weeks. There's quite a few players on the board right now that I think are very, very good values. Do you like Fannin this year? I thought the 9th was a pretty good value for him. Yeah, absolutely. And it was a good value. I still like Fannin. Obviously, there's more competition for targets with Concepcion and Boston there. Obviously, the quarterback situation feels like a bit of a question mark. I personally, and I've been of this belief for quite a few weeks, maybe even longer than weeks. I've thought Shadur would end up being the starter or start a majority of the games this year, no matter what happened going into week 1. But now there's a lot of reports kind of indicating that Todd Monken's going to make that announcement tomorrow, supposedly, and does not really feel as if they are leaning towards Deshaun Watson being the starter. And then the next question will be like, are we going to see Watson take a leave of absence from this team? He's just a distraction. Are we going to see him, go back to being the starting, quote unquote, starting quarterback? If play with Shadur is bad enough, do they release Watson? Nobody's going to trade for him. I know nobody feels bad for the Browns, but it's like this weird kind of situation right now. And I think most people think the best thing to do is just rip the Band-Aid off here, take the losses, but it's like $196 million in total losses. Like it's ridiculous. That's not the exact number, but like it's a lot of dead money. A lot. But I mean, the Broncos had that contract with Russell Wilson, and then we're able to move on from it, reestablish. Like they just got to restart here. I don't know. I guess we'll find out more tomorrow. And ultimately, I think Bannon is going to be fine. I need to draft a ridiculous amount of wide receivers. And yeah, Bannon is a very good value in the 9th. Very good value there. Got no issue with that. Overall, I liked your team quite a bit. If Christian McCaffrey, Henderson, and Dobbins stay healthy, I guess it's always the point of contention. But with any team, they got to stay healthy. But in a good spot in terms of your wide receiver depth and flex and everything. As long as those running backs are there, I think you're in a great spot. J-Dubs, how you feeling over there at pick 12? Not gonna lie, I was sweating when to get Dobbins of all people. Isn't that funny how drafts work that way? Especially underdog drafts. I'll be sitting here saying like the most random player, sweating them out. Hold on a sec here. I will say if I was kind of hoping Dobbins would fall to me in that same round. But I ended up with Gainwell, which I was fine with. But yeah, like Mike Washington kicking off the 8th round there. But then Jonathan Brooks and Dobbins. I was like, man, I might really land one of these guys as an RB3, which I would have felt good about. I was still okay with Gainwell. Then I was pretty happy I got Jordan Mason in the 9th. But Bill was sitting there too. That was a tough pick. All right, go Debo there. Also got Kittle. Correlate those two together. Sorry to whoever drafted Purdy. I mean, he passed on Debo. Yeah, Caffrey, at least. Yes, I really like Myers in this range. I only passed on him really because I had Parker Washington already. I guess I got to go wide receiver at this next pick. I don't have to. I'm going to go Ferguson, be done at tight end. Be done at quarterback and tight end early, which is not usual for me, but I'd rather get a little bit more upside at those positions and throw more darts at the wide receiver position, especially obviously here. But yeah, I'm happy with this build so far. Remember, this is the first quarter, just first 4 games of the year. So all this contest is running through. Back on the clock at 153 and 160. This is where I'm just purely hunting for upside. Can't really do anything else. I got 177 and 184. Yeah, not super pretty. I like Keenan Allen at this point. I think Marshawn Lord's a very good pick here. If Jacobs were to miss any point in the beginning of the season. I forgot to check where Ashton Genty went. Oh, he still went at pick 20. I didn't even notice that. He went at the 2-8. Don't know my pick here. Bryce Young. Wicks. Go Trey Tucker. Please be the wide receiver one for the Raiders for 4 weeks. There's a couple players here that I like, though. I like Jawan Jennings a lot, actually. You guys know that, but yeah, in this range, I think he's a very good pick. Saints are sending veteran linebacker Deion Jones to San Francisco in exchange for running back Samir White. It is so strange. But I will say that that's probably not great news for Alvin Kamara. What was Cyrus Allen? So the most random trade in the NFL just happened. Imagine like the San Francisco literally just signed Samir White. Yeah, this has got to be not good news for Alvin Kamara. Yeah, I think Tyrone Tracy is a really good pick there. Really good value. So yeah, Audric Estime is hurt for the Saints. Andre Miller is quite the history. I'm reading all the Saints running backs other than ETN are hurt. So maybe it doesn't directly mean anything about Kamara. Right. What am I doing at pick 177? 184. I kind of wanted Devon Bailey. Gaston, man, isn't like Gaston not even a starter? I'm just gonna literally draft wide receiver. I think I'm gonna draft 9 wide receivers. 10. Man, I want a McMillan. I mean, I was going to take preseason hype, guys. Give me Caleb Douglas. Just going for pure upside here. Fryermuth. Oh man, I'm gonna be taking some dart throws in this draft. Dude, I actually really like A.D. Mitchell in this range. I mean, I really feel like right now he's the wide receiver 2 on the Jets. I guess it's Cooper's role to take. We've seen quite a bit of A.D. Mitchell in the preseason action so far. Go Malachi Fields. Interesting team. T-Law, Herbert, Cook, Walker, Swift, Dobbins, Neighbors, Parker, Washington. So we stacked with T-Law, MH, Debo, Trey Tucker, Cyrus Allen, Caleb Douglas, Malachi Fields, George Kittle, and Jake Ferguson. I mean, I don't actually mind this team. J Dubs. Sorry, we only draft bangers. So we got Kyler at quarterback with JJ. Danny Dimes with Tyler Warren. Cam Ward with Wandale. Nice. Lamb, JJ, Godwin, Wandale, Myers, A.D. Mitchell, Javante Etienne, Jadarian Price, Pollard, also with Cam, Checo, Warren, and Chig at tight end. Yeah, nice squad for sure. For sure. All right, I'm going to rip a Dalmatian after this, and then that'll be it. I need to see a regular draft with all these changes. I mean, Omar Cooper is going pretty late here. And Demarcus Robinson's still in the Niners. Fernando. All right, I got a couple players here queued up. A couple guys that could work. Let's see. Give me Keon Coleman. the draft darts right now. All right, Branch, you can pick here too. Good draft. Bijan. Handcuff. I know you didn't draft Bijan. Tyson gets picked here. I mean, I can understand some logic there, but it's still like, man, the timeline is not looking promising. Give me Emmett Johnson, especially since I got Walker on this team. QB might be an issue for you. I mean, I guess it's a little sketchy, but they're good values. I ended up with T-Law, Herbert, James Cook, Walker, Swift, Dobbins, Emmett Johnson, Neighbors, Parker Washington, M.H. Debo, Trey Tucker, Cyrus Allen, Caleb Douglas, Malachi Fields, Keon Coleman, 9 wide receivers, George Kittle, and Jake Ferguson. All right, back to the lobby we go. I'm going to do a little Dalmatian 5. On in. 5 spots if you guys want in. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I didn't miss anything, right? Just in time. Oh, Kyle's in here? Kyle's here? Let's go. Ooh, I'm kind of excited to draft from the 112. I don't know. I've had the 112 in like any draft this year. Kyle Stinger's in the house. Let's go. What's the payout in this one again? 20,000 the first. Fun little entry. Whoa, Caleb Williams in the 5th. What are these drafts tonight? Wait, is that you, bro? Kyle, did you do that? You're in a different draft. Oh, bro, you're at the 1-6. I thought you said he hit the 5th. It's like, Kyle, what's happening? I've had one draft tonight with Mike Washington at the first pick. You're good, bro. Yeah. So what's important now is his next two picks. They don't always refund them. It really depends on the rest of his draft. If he makes two crappy picks at pick 20 and pick 29, I might go into a separate draft and draft this one on the side. Yes, and AJ Brown's a nice start. Kyron, that's somewhat normal, right? There's Javante, like him and Kyron aren't super far. Like Genty's not going to be a guy here. Jeremiah Love and Brees Hall are banged up. You don't want to go wide receiver there. Brock Bowers, like it's not entirely unorthodox. I'm definitely glad we get to experience this together. Every now and then, you just have someone who really doesn't know what they're doing. It's a dollar draft. And they legitimately think taking a quarterback early is a good thing. Caleb Williams, we're looking Josh Allen or Lamar or someone like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just a Bears fan. Doesn't really know what they're doing. Again, this is a dollar entry. Luther Burden. I mean, there's a stack. Like so far I don't think this will get. I don't think this will get thrown. Especially Mike Washington go to 1-3. We have Caleb Williams 1-5. I don't even know. I don't even know. I guess it's I don't know. It's an experience. I don't know what to say. All right, give me Lad. I'm gonna go ETN. Might be crazy, but with the fact that they just traded for Zamir White makes me feel like ETN is a very clear RB1. But Brees Hall is perfectly fine there too. Jacobs is fine. Swift is honestly fine. These wide receivers, Waddle, Higgins, Wilson, T Mac, all fine. I'm really just in a area now where ADP is finally out of that funk of ADP. Now I'm just fine with drafting whoever I want to draft wherever I draft them at, you know? Especially at this point, I've done so many drafts. You know, have a couple different builds out there. So Genty still goes in the fourth. That's about on average where we're like seeing him go. Somewhere between the fourth and the beginning of the sixth round. Two underdog drafts, two real league drafts. Wow, just in right now. Ashton Genty, who has helped off the practice field today, is believed to have a sprained ankle. Wow. Wow. Not considered a serious injury. Raiders are still unsure how long he'll be out. There we go. We got our Ashton to be streamed until we got an Ashton Genty update. Wow. We watched people draft Mike Washington as high as the 1-3 in the draft tonight. Also watched more in different settings him go. Where did he go in the draft tonight? 8.3. Wow. What a wild ride. Ashton, the night of Ashton Genty, the worst possible block of time to draft tonight had two real league drafts. Wow. Perfect example. Sometimes you got to just go against the grain. Yeah, Kuda took Genty in the sixth round after taking Chase Brown, Hampton, and Tootin. You would have thought Ashton Genty was literally dead on the field tonight. Literally executed. I feel like I'm on like a roller coaster of emotions reading this news. I also had drafted Genty in two out of the three catch fam leagues I drafted before tonight. That is wild. And in the first draft I did tonight, the guy who took Genty didn't even know he was hurt. He was like, "Why is he here in the fourth?" And just took him, and then was super upset. Crazy. You literally, you would have thought Genty was dead. This is like one of the most insane blips in fantasy football I think I've felt in a while. Maybe it's just the first thing to actually like happen post drafts I've done this year with implications. You got to love it. This is actually probably a very good reminder. Trying to remember to not overreact. So there's a lot of immediate reaction tonight. No matter what happens in the NFL or fantasy, you should always just wait. Now think about all the drafts I was in where Genty's just slid and slid. I mean, he still went. This is before the news. Where did he go tonight? Why am I no fourth round, pick 41? Jeez. I was like, why am I struggling with this? Ay, ay, ay. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say about that. Thinking at least some tear. I don't like minor from reports. It's just right. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. There's just nothing quite like it. Andrew, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Sutton sniped from me. I will go Michael Wilson. Very happily too. Jordan. No, I don't want to go Jordan Addison. I'll go Diggs. A little bit against ADP. Really like Pollard here, but I decided to hold off at running back there. Another wide receiver. A little against ADP there. It's kind of a weird tier of players. Pollard's really falling here. Right? Yeah, Pollard's a great pick. I just don't want to draft a running back there. Reactions to the Genty news tonight. It's crazy. Imagine if something like that happened like on a Monday night, like a Monday morning, hurting a walk through, and it seemed like it's an ACL tear, and the player plays Monday night. Yeah, anyone who drafted Genty is feeling good. We drafted him tonight. And I guess Genty's still going to miss time. I guess we'll find out. We will find out. Who am I going to try to stack? Pick 132. Not a prime spot for a QB. I'm probably taking one with this next pick. Crazy to me that Kittle is still falling the way he's falling in these drafts. A little bit of a slide at QB in this draft. All good picks here. Pitts, Robinson. Kind of hoping Purdy would be there. Give me Kenny G. I'm going to go Stafford here because I've got Adams. 132, 133. Man, and it's super tough to pass on Kittle there. Super tough. 156, 157. We'll see what happens at 132. Such a weird tier of players. Nobody that I really love. To target Jacoby in this draft. Kind of interesting to me that we never see Kirk Cousins taking. I know the Raiders haven't officially announced their starter, but there's got to be a strong chance that we see Cousins play, start the season. I guess he goes every now and then drafts. Because Mike Washington at pick 119. I've seen Mike Washington's. How long have we been streaming? For the past 2 hours and 20 minutes. And then I did a home league draft earlier than night. I've seen the ADP of Ashton Genty, Mike Washington all over the place. There's been so many highs and lows. Here's Mike Washington, gone again. There's Kyler and Shuck. Kelsey, Shakir, J-Lo. Likely some fast picks here. I like the team. You got to draft some running backs though. Starting to get dicey here. Jacoby Myers a great value there. Mitchell. Kincaid. Shot White, good pick there. Give me Sam Darnold. Jake the Snake. I've drafted so much Jake Ferguson. He better not suck. Draft board. Oh no. Oh no. All right, we're back. All right, we're good. Where? 156, 157. I need to get a wide receiver in that range. A couple names I think we can work with. And Allen gone. And like literally just keep him up. I guess I got to scroll this thing all the way back over to be. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I can use this. Oh heck yeah. Oh, Johnson, good pick. Goddard, good pick. All right, Titans Seahawks. 19-16. Titans win. Wait. No, what happened in the second half? I guess Jalen Milrose had a really bad game. I think Tyrone Tracy's a great value here. I feel like our streams tonight, like Kieran, Ashton Genty. I feel like we definitely had something to do with that. Man, I wanted Jacoby Lane. Bummer. Bummer. Go Cyrus Allen and Dalton Schultz. I just noticed that Stafford and Darnold at the same buy. Should be less than ideal. Less than ideal, to say the least. at 180, 181. There's two more picks after that. Really going to depend on these next couple rounds go, like always. This might be a 4 RB team. They all have different bye weeks. I guess I could throw a dart at a handcuff, though. Looking all right here. So I'm gonna have to get another QB. Don't want to forfeit week 11. That one team that took Caleb Williams did draft 4 quarterbacks, but outside of that, his team is not like too weak. I don't think that's gonna get thrown. Man, I wanted AJ Barner. I don't really feel I can get AJ Barner true to his ADP anymore. I've seen a lot more people drafting him. I might just draft Elijah Herrera. How far down? He's pretty far down. Maybe I'll go Parkinson instead. Mendoza. I love Mendoza. I don't think I'm going to end up with any Mendoza shares. Down, Pat Bryant gone. All right. Be back on the clock. I'm going to Devon Vele. And just to make sure that I get Jacoby Brissett, I'm going to draft him right here. Now we got Stafford with stacked Adams, Brissett stacked with Michael Wilson. Really thought I had a chance to get AJ Barner. I know keeping a tight end stack is not nearly as impactful, but as a third tight end, it would have just made sense. Yeah, Stafford, Darnold, Brissett going with 4 running backs: Chase Brown, Etienne Henderson, Kenny Gainwell, wide receiver JJ Ladd, Adams, Michael Wilson, Diggs, Cyrus Allen, Devon Vele. We got Ferguson and Schultz at tight end. It'll work. It'll work for now. Basically, going to take a dart throw at tight end, dart throw at running back or wide receiver. Every league I'm in is just talking about Ashton Genty. And Genty's back on the drawing board, boys and girls. All right, guys, this draft will conclude the night. I take a dart throw at wide receiver. Probably go Colby Parkinson since we got Stafford on this team. I guess I should really take a dart throw at running back, but maybe a Sean Tucker. He's been one of my favorite late round guys. Yeah, I like this entry. Why not? Right, guys, tomorrow night we'll either be on for a mock draft and or underdog draft or a real draft. I got to figure out if league or if the 3 wide receiver league is drafting tomorrow. Right now, the vote in that league is 4-4. Colby Parkinson. Sean Tucker, but also like Malachi Fields a lot there. All right, guys, that does it for the night. Congrats to league number 3 for drafting. That draft is at the very beginning of the stream. If anybody wants to scroll back, we had a lot of highs and lows tonight. I did a lot of drafts tonight. So a lot of Mike Washington, a lot of Ashton Genty all over the place. Just to end with Ashton Genty not having a super serious injury. Very interesting night. I'm honestly glad to be that I was live for most of that. We literally watched an underdog draft where Mike Washington win at the 1-3. I don't even know what tonight was. You gotta love it. It's a good reminder. Don't overreact to fantasy football, boys and girls. Okay. All right, we'll be back on tomorrow night, drafting more. So come out, hang out tomorrow night. I'll talk to you guys soon. Everyone have a great night. Have a great Monday and be safe.